Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, it's gonna go through about Lu Shang, which is Jiang Ziya's Esper kit. So Lu Shang here, he is actually a very good Esper, especially you can use him at R0. He's an R0 Esper that doesn't need Reso. Of course, if you want to use him in PvP and make him OP, then it requires R2 above to make it smoother. So, but let's take a look at his trader model first.
I look forward to receiving your counsel.
Right, so his 3D model is pretty special. He have a big fishy surrounding him, and personally, I think the model itself is it a little bit too skinny? I don't know, just but my own thought. I feel like it's a bit skinny for his leg part here, but the fish here is very cute. Alright, okay, so let's go through with his kit first. So he have a 40% Captain Leader buff for HP and for PvP content. Then Divinate here is when you go to D3, when he take a hit, there's a 100% chance of reducing ability cooldown by 1 turn. This ability cooldown here I think is for himself, so he's able to spam his S3 more often. Okay, then this is his Divinate art. Okay, then S1. Very straightforward, attack one enemy, deal damage, and then inflict silence for 1 turn. And then passive is where his main kit I'll go through later, but let's take a look at his S3 first. So his S3 is AoE but doesn't damage, it's just an AoE debuff to enemy. So it's a 60% chance of inflicting silence to all enemy for 1 turn, grants all ally 3 stack of safeguard. So safeguard is when inflicted with a debuff more than other than stun. So you cannot control, but other than control, it will prevent it. So let's say like Suje's puppet art, let's say like Taunt, let's say like Hamstruck by Yuhime. This kind of debuff effect that is not control will get blocked by this safeguard. So when you block the debuff, then it will consume 1 stack. So you have a total of 3 stack. So you can block 3 kind of debuff when you have the safeguard. It's something like Sakura's Vigo Guard, but in the opposite way. Sakura's Vigo Guard is block control effect, but cannot block debuff. His safeguard here is to block debuff, but cannot block control effect. Okay, so S3 here, you can upgrade to 100% trigger chance for his silence, and then the cooldown, the silence duration can increase 3 turn. This is crazy because 3 turn of silence means if you don't have Dispel, so let's say you don't have, if you don't have Light Set and you already get silence, right? You have 3 turns that you cannot dispel this debuff away. It's crazy, and maybe this will cause Jin Yu Yao actually become a lot more stronger because Jin Yu Yao can dispel debuff just by her passive. Okay, then this cooldown here is a total of 5 turns. It's a pretty long cooldown. That's why his Divinate here, when he get hit, then he have a 100% chance of reducing his ability cooldown, so he will able to rotate his S3 more often. But that's not where he is strong at. He is strong because of his passive. Let me go through his passive. At the start of the combat, or when she revives, okay? So it's not 2 conditions, it's 1 condition for certain situation. So at the start of the round, he will instantly cast S2. Or if you revive him, he will also cast S2. Why? Because when he dies, he will actually, all these stacks will actually go off. Okay, so when he casts this strategic insight, he himself will get enlightened, which is that defense with plus 50% and damage mitigation plus 25%. So he will make himself tanky, but and when he dies, he will get enlightened, but his ally will get this accented. Let me go check the pronunciation. Accentuated. So only his ally were able to get this accentuated buff. So at the start of the carrier turn, he will trigger this buff effect based on the Esper type. Keep note, this effect here will only trigger when they take their turn. So Esper that trigger like pursuit, like counter attack, will not trigger this accentuated buff effect. Okay, so when he dies, you remove all stack of the accentuated buff from his ally. That's why it's important that if you revive him, he'll recast this ability, because you cannot cast this ability by yourself. Then at the start of the at their turn, and the Esper who get the accentuated buff we get the following effect active based on their Esper type. So there's Fighter, Defender, Support, and Controller effect, which is this for Esper type within the game. So for Fighter, it will increase their attack damage throughout the combat up to a limited amount. Then for Defender, will increase their defense and damage reduced. Okay, so Fighter is attack and damage output. Defender is defend and reduce damage taken. Support is speed and all ability cooldown -1 turn. Basically, it's a free ocean wave for all your support Esper. This is crazy good because you imagine your Esper already have ocean wave and you have another ocean wave here. Then basically when you proc it, you can reduce 2 ocean wave turn. That's going to be crazy. Then the more crazy one is a controller. So the controller Esper here will gain speed and inflicting ability effect cannot miss and cannot be resist, which means as long as your Esper is triggering that debuff, for your controller Esper triggering that debuff, it will 100% land because you cannot resist it. You can build your controller Esper doesn't have any accuracy as long as you're pairing with Lu Shang. This is gonna be gonna change the whole thing for the PvE and also PvP meta. Okay, so maybe you are curious like what is the limited amount, right? So after we did a series of testing, it actually is pretty hard to calculate because you not just increase your attack, you also increase your damage output. So attack and damage output is a different thing. But from what we tested, we can assume there's a total of 10 stack, up to 10 stack. Every time you take a turn, then it will increase 1 stack. So there's 10 stack and assume every single stack is 5%, somewhere there. It's not exactly 5% because it also depends on your Esper, your Esper damage as well. Alright, so then take a look at his Ascension. Is going for defense, speed, and HP bonus. Okay, so it's going for a tanky role. Then for his Reso wise, this final damage plus 10% is pretty funny. It's going for his S1 because only his S1 is able to do damage. His S3 doesn't do any damage at all. Then R2 here, this is where it goes for PvP. If you are using him for PvE, actually 1 copy is enough. 1 copy is all you need for him to actually be strong. So R2 effect here, at the start of the combat, you will instantly cast his passive, right? And not just passive, you also instantly get 3 stack of safeguard. So at the start of the combat, you instantly get protected from enemy debuff. So let's say you're fighting Yuhime and you hit Yuhime Hamstruck. Then this safeguard will actually protect you from the Yuhime Hamstruck. But keep note, this only is 3 stack, which means you can only block 3 debuff. So imagine enemy have like Chuyao that applies a lot of debuff. You instantly go pop off all your safeguard and you no longer have safeguard. So keep note, this is not like total immunity. So this one will actually wear off. It's not as good as immunity. Okay, then R4 effect here, when taking a critical hit, damage reduced. And then R6 effect here, when he actually dies, all his ally will gain a bonus turn. So keep note, he's not like Cecilia. Cecilia is when he die, then he'll revive everyone, right? And then but for his case, is when he die, he'll give the surviving ally gain a bonus turn. So it will not revive them. If his ally die first and he's the last one who died, it won't do anything because it's only for the Esper who is still alive. Okay, so basically that's all his key. It's pretty simple and straightforward, but it's actually doing very good. So let me do some showcase tests for you, so you can get in mind. So let's say I put Lu Shang here, and then I put Jin Qiu as a showcase for you. Alright, so let me put them to level 80 and let's go take a look. So Jin Qiu is a fighter Esper. So whenever Jin Qiu take a turn or damage a turn, then you'll slowly see his damage output getting increased. So at the start of the combat, he'll instantly get Enlightened, and then Jin Qiu here will get this accentuated buff. And just now you did see that he popped a attribute increase. So let's say I cast S2 again. I get a bonus turn, you see? I get an attribute up. So when you get the attribute up, means you trigger the effect of the accentuated here, and because he is a fighter type, so he get damage, attack and damage output increase. So if I S1 here, it's a 10k damage, right? So let me silence them. It won't do any damage, but I'll silence for 3 turns. Okay, so just now it's 10k. I don't do any bonus turn. I just S1. Now it's 10 10k and 500. Alright, so let me try again. So if I don't cast anything, I S1. Oh, I reduce my damage is because my S2, the base attack increase. Never mind. Let me rebuff myself. S2, rebuff myself with the Punish Evil. S1. You see, now it's already 11k and 900. So let's say I buff up myself again, then I hit someone again. Now it's 12k and 900. But there's a limit. There's a limit of total 10 stacks. So if you get your turn 10 times already, then that's the limit you hit. So now it's 13k 900. So let's see when I'm gonna hit the limit. See, now I hit the limit. Now it's 13k 900. So I'm assuming every single turn, your Esper take the turn, will get a 5% attack buff, and then I don't know how many percent of damage output increase. So you want, if you want to pair with Lu Shang, you want them to actually take their turn more often, so they'll get the buff faster. Same goes for the defender. But keep note, maybe you think that, oh, maybe I can put like with Wu Yu together to increase the Wu Yu buff, right? But it doesn't work because Wu Yu doesn't take a turn. So let me show you an example. So if I put all defender Esper here and just want them to damage me, right? You will notice that Wu Yu won't get any attribute up trigger. Okay, buff up everyone. Wu Yu will still get the buff, but it won't matter for Wu Yu. So in normal situation, when your Esper take their turn, you see attribute up. They take their turn, attribute up. Okay, then I take my turn, nothing will happen. Then they take their action first. Okay, now I have 7 stack. Okay, now Changji. Okay, we see Wu Yu, when Wu Yu breakdance, it doesn't trigger any attribute up, because when Wu Yu trigger his her effect here, let's say where is it, the 10 stack one. When grounded stack reach the limit, instantly cast this ability. So it's actually casting this ability, not making her take the turn. So she won't take the turn, so she didn't trigger the accentuated buff, so it won't trigger the defense increase from Lu Shang. So Wu Yu team here will get 0 benefit, at least for Wu Yu herself, will get 0 benefit from the defender defense increase buff here. But the defender teammate here will get the buff, because every time they take the action, will get the attribute up, but Wu Yu won't get the effect. So if you want to pair Lu Shang with Wu Yu, it's still okay, just that Wu Yu won't get the buff increase, but you can do something like this. So let's say like Yamato have buff increase, right, when he go to R2. Then Sakura have buff increase when you go to R6, and I believe a lot of you actually went for R6 already. So you can do something like defender here. Then the last slot here, you can actually go for, let's say, like Liam, or maybe Donna, or if you don't want, you can also go for another protection. So you can also go for Lian. Okay, something like this also can. It's just that then there are 3 defender. Then the these 2 defender, these 2 buff here will give Wu Yu buff, but Lu Shang here will only provide buff to these 2 Esper here. Okay, then the other one is about the controller. So if we look at the controller buff here, increase speed up to a limited amount, and the ability cannot miss and cannot be resist. But keep note, it have to at least trigger the debuff. So for example, if I'm gonna use Long Mian, right? Long Mian here. So you look at the Long Mian skill. Long Mian skill is 100% chance of inflicting speed down and freeze. So it's about the trigger, about the accuracy, right? So in just the 100% trigger the debuff. Just that, do you land the debuff on them? So you're going to trigger the accuracy thing. But if you look at Lucas S2, each hit have 85% chance to inflict stun, which means there's actually a 15% chance to not trigger the stun at all, so it doesn't even go through the accuracy check. Okay, so if I put Long Mian here, I can actually put Long Mian with no accuracy, but you will still see I will always land all my freeze, no matter how, because I'm a controller for Long Mian. So I disable all the accuracy, and I just put speed here. Okay, I have a 0% accuracy Longmian, but I have a 100% trigger rate for the debuff. So when I pair with Lu Shang here, Lu Shang will provide the controller cannot miss and cannot be resist. So his debuff will not get resisted. So let's take a look here. Right, so I provide the buff here. So now if I S3, you will not see I resist anything here. No one can resist the debuff that I land from my controller Esper here. Okay, so same thing if my Longmian here, my S2 is 80% chance to inflicting AP down, and then if they have speed down, the AP reduce trigger double, right? So you see if I S2, there will be no debuff resist, but not everyone will actually get trigger. Okay, this time I'm lucky, everyone get trigger, but you gotta know that if you have to trigger this 80% chance first. Alright, so another example is from Farah as well. So if I take Longmian down and I put Farah in, Farah is a wind type legend. So Farah, and let's take a look at Farah. Farah here will dispel 2 buff from everyone, that inflict freeze to everyone and inflict speed down. It's a 100% trigger rate, just that depends on how many accuracy you have. So if I boot in a build here without any accuracy, it will still trigger as well. Okay, so let me get rid of the accuracy here. Okay, 15% is from the base. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let them attack me first. Alright, attack me, attack me. Okay, so now you take a look here. When I cast my S3, no one is able to resist. See? It's a very clean dispel, very clean freeze, very clean speed down. No one is able to resist that. Same for S2. My S2 here, inflict freeze, no one can resist. Inflict defend down, no one can resist. So everyone will have a defend down. See? Everyone will get the debuff as long as you're able to trigger the effect. So maybe if you wonder like what if I put Tyrant set, will it still trigger? Yes, but it have to at least trigger the effect first, because the Tyrant set is an RNG chance to trigger. So you have to go through the RNG chance to trigger layer first, the 20% chance, then it will go through the accuracy. But because you're a controller, then you won't go through the accuracy. So it's still a bit RNG for that part, just that it makes your kit more stable without any accuracy for your controller. Then the other one will be the support Esper. So support Esper here will get CD reduction, right? So let's say I'm gonna put Sachiko with Ocean Wave. So Sachiko here, later when you take, see, I'll actually trigger, okay, never mind, because Sachiko's skill cannot get affected. So let's say I put Sienna here. Sienna's skill have extra turn. Okay, then let's make her fast. Alright, buff up first. Okay, now look at my Sienna here. My Sienna here have a 5 turn, right? So if I S3, bonus turn, CD down, so now it's 3 turn, but it should actually 4 turn. It should actually be 4 turn. Then I buff up my team. Then later when my Sienna take a turn again, I can spam again. Spam this. Then if you take a look at Sienna actually have 2 turn, right? When Sienna take her turn, will 1 turn CD reduce and then another trigger from Lu Shang. So now Sienna S3 is okay, is back. S2, S3, S2. I can just keep doing this. See, so it's actually a free Ocean Wave proc that is 100% trigger rate for your support Esper. Okay, but it won't affect like the S2 Esper, let's say like Sachiko, it won't affect because Sachiko's ability effect here is will not affected by any other ability. See, this effect here won't affect by any other ability. So if I put Sachiko here, you'll see the difference is that I will trigger my own Ocean Wave, but it won't help me cool down. Alright, let them take their turn first. Okay, I need to change a bit. Alright, so I have trigger, then I cast S3. So now my S3 here is a total of 4 turns. So later when I take my action, if I trigger Ocean Wave, it will be 2 turns. If I don't trigger Ocean Wave, it will be 3 turns. Okay, silence them. See, when I take my turn, I just reduced my own turns cooldown, but the attribute CD reduction just now didn't trigger. Okay, so now my Sachiko trigger. Now it's both 3 turn, right? So when I take my turn, it should be 3 turn. It won't get affected by the CD up, CD down. See, so the CD down here did not help me trigger my Sachiko. Alright, so this is what happened for Lu Shang to able to trigger his passive. So in my opinion, I think Lu Shang is a very strong Esper, especially at R0 is already very OP. I don't think the Divinate matters for PvE. I don't think PvP it won't matter because of the silence is actually very strong for PvP, but for PvE situation it does barely nothing. But the passive here is massive. It's going to be very fun, and R0 is all you need to play Lu Shang. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JNMP, Roses15, The Blue Tulane, Kemi, thank you so much for the support. And for the supporter and patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Code Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwaltz, Rimu, Chani, Von Hexa, Rawson Bessie, Antonio Winterspoon, Marilyn Williams, Uncle Chad, Eric Mendes, Im Kragren, Riku Fred Iris, Calamity, Jordan, Alons, thank you so much for your support. And that's not all, also special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest stand. Special thanks to Ziggy, Calamity, Agni, Pong Pong, Code Wilderness, Riku Fred, and Choni. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.